And that's why you should never help anyone change a tyre.
But you're wrong about that. Helping someone change a tyre is great.
Is that it? Is that all the rebuttal you've got?
Yep.
Wow, that really lacked some power. We need to work on a way to get better at this. Hi everyone, my name is Nikki and this is James, and welcome back to our Conquering Debating series. Today, we're here to teach you about 3 common rebuttal techniques.
It's really important when responding to an argument to make clear for the adjudicator what those responses are and what role they play in the debate. We're going to help you make sure that you can pull out the most effective response when you need to.
The 3 common rebuttal techniques we're talking about today are principled, effectiveness, and mitigation. When approaching a debate, it's important to consider not just if a point is factually correct, but whether it's ethical. This forms the basis of our principled rebuttal. To take a better look at principles, feel free to look at our other content to see how to run them.
Principled rebuttal can be really powerful. You can use it to show that even if a point has benefits, if it violates basic human rights like freedom of choice, maybe we shouldn't do it.
The outcome for an argument may be both positive and ethical, but that often isn't enough. It's also important to consider whether the method for getting to that outcome is ethical too. Often, if the method hurts a lot of people, the outcome being positive is just not worth it.
Exactly. When it comes to principled rebuttal, you must ask 2 questions. Firstly, is the outcome ethical? And secondly, are the steps used to achieve that outcome ethical as well? If it infringes on some basic rights such as freedom, speech, choice, or your right to live, then there may be a problem or a trade-off that just isn't worth making.
Now, a point may be entirely principled, but may fail on a practical level. In this instance, it's important to consider effectiveness rebuttal.
Effectiveness rebuttal is a really powerful form of rebuttal when you believe your opposition has the correct goal, but isn't going about it the right way. Or, for example, when you're the negative team and you believe that the affirmative team's plan isn't going to fix the problem that they have already set up.
For example, in a debate dealing with banning school uniforms, if the opposition stated that we should ban school uniforms because it makes children healthier, this would fail the logic check. When you hear an argument, you should always think, will it make a difference, and how much of a difference will it make? In this instance, whilst banning uniforms has some benefits, there is no logical explanation between banning uniforms and childhood obesity.
To further understand logical flow and links, consider this example. If I were to say that the sun was a key ingredient in a hamburger, this might not make a lot of sense. But if I explained it further, I might be able to make it a bit clearer. So the sun makes grass grow. When the grass grows, cows eat the grass. And as cows eat the grass, they get fat. And then, of course, the cows get made into hamburgers. Now it's a little bit clearer. For every argument, there should be some kind of logical chain like this. Your rebuttal needs to get into this chain and break one or more of the links to prove that the argument is not effective in getting from the start to the end.
The third type of rebuttal is mitigation. Mitigation rebuttal is really important when the opposition has proposed an argument that is principled and has a reasonable effectiveness. It is important to critique the effectiveness of the arguments proposed by the opposition. Often, debating teams are guilty of overinflating the issue or claiming their solution is way more effective than it actually is.
When this happens, you need to prove that the benefits are smaller, which makes your case comparatively more important. Remember, you don't need a perfect case to win a debate. You just need to prove that your case is stronger or more important than your opposition's. This means you don't always have to prove that their points aren't true, just that they're less important than they think. Often, this is more than enough to win a debate as long as your team has a strong case as well.
Let's take a look at an example of mitigation rebuttal in action. Let's say the topic is that all schools should become co-educational and the opposition makes a very broad point that everyone will benefit. Mitigation rebuttal works in this sense by saying that whilst some people may benefit, the group of people that do not benefit at all are much larger, and therefore that is mitigation rebuttal in action. In summary, it's important to consider these three types of rebuttal techniques: principled, effectiveness, and mitigation. Try to work out what categories the opposition's points run under, and it'll help you get your rebuttal quickly and easily.
And don't forget, we'll be covering a whole range of topics, so if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and hit subscribe to make sure you don't miss a thing. See you next time.
Bye!